Yo, what's up, guys? It's Nick here with some raw day trading, and we got to break down what I did today that was not so great. So I had a really fantastic disciplined week last week, and then I came into this week. Let's just say I was a little bit looser than I probably should be on my discipline. Sleep times, drinking coffee at the open, and that led me to get a little bit creative this morning and maybe lose a little bit of attention because maybe with a little bit less sleep, I am not, maintaining attention. But fucking, it's annoying. It is what it is. I'm gonna live. I'll move on. I am sitting today down 370-ish bucks, which is probably more like 390. If actually it is 390, with fees and everything. So probably about $70-$80 in fees and minus 300 in losses. And that's annoying. It's whatever. I think that it's just it's very difficult because everything that I keep trying is like I'll be spending a lot of time just in the wrong spots as far as where the volatility is at. So that's a frustrating part. My broker's not set up to do well in pre-market. It's just not a good broker for pre-market. It's not a good broker for front side actually either so much. And we've just been seeing some different action as usual. Everything changes. You get used to one volatility pattern, you get another one. Say lovey. So here we are. Yeah, TGL I thought would give me a little bit something out of the open, but no. Let me close the window before I get a YouTube infraction violation from my neighbor. Playing Led Zeppelin on his guitar. Alright, what did I do here? This is the L that I took. Still. So this one I held a little bit. I thought I was gonna give it a pop. Took half off. I think it went against me pretty quick. Or I just got filled really low because it was a squirrely one. No, I got okay. No, where was that? Where I took a different L? Oh yeah. Okay, what was this? This a breakout? Oh no, it's just kind of creeping. That was my bad for mine there. Damn. Yeah, it's just not a lot of buyers in the open time. Everybody is looks like it's around 9 o'clock. Hey, there's some buyers here. 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. had some buyers here on KWM, and that just seems, yeah, I don't know, early, risky. This is just me fighting down words. I'm like, okay, this is probably dead. So the next one, the CLRB. I gotta watch this whole CLRB nonsense. This is where I come to it. So from start to finish, here's my trades and actions with the CLRB. Okay, so what I'm looking at here, it's a higher red volume candle, but it's concentrated in that smaller range. I'm looking to see if it wants to unload here. It's testing low. There's loop kind of going, so I'm also looking at stuff, and now it's looking like it's catching a bid. I'm not jumping in. And so now it's at the highs of that range, and what am I going to do? Chase that? I'm not going to chase it. It doesn't yet look like a breakout. Now it kind of looks like, I don't know, man. There's like a second there where you could have taken profit, and I'm also moving slow too. I see that on my how I'm executing stuff. Okay, so I'm not even watching CLRB. CLRB's the one to be. It has all the volume. Wow. Okay. I was watching a stock that had less than 1 million shares of volume. That was a problem. So in choosing between the two, I chose the less likely one because halting low volume choose higher volume if it's a toss up between two. All right. So this one's a penny. It was getting bought semi aggressively, I would say. This is kind of an aggressive entry above this 50 cent level. I would think that it would test below. Uh, this was also an aggressive entry where it got bought up, got pushed down. And then what did I do here? What was this entry? I don't know what this entry was. So I'm focused on it now. Total retracement here. Buy back instantly. Why do I buy back instantly? It's not. It's retraced. I should be letting that go. Okay, let it go. And then it pops higher. I'm looking at other stuff. I don't know why I'm distracted. I should have all my attention on CLRB. I was also drinking a coffee at the moment, so that was another problem. I'm red and I increased size. That was another thing that I did. Ooh, look at that. Look at that 5-minute chart. It doesn't look fantastic. Not red by a lot. Huh. It's getting bought up here off mid range, off the highs of the mid range. It's just a weird place to buy that. If I were to buy it, what would I? Where would be the buy point? I don't like it. Did go, and then so I'm good at being patient right here, and I think I do recognize that that volume candle slightly higher. That was a slightly exaggerated move, but it feels like there's a lot of play in it right now. The first time it tries to die, and the second time it tried to die, I don't get in. Goes to 65. Huh. So I'm just like, I don't know where to. I guess, okay. There's maybe a micro pullback entry right here. So now it's pushing highs. Sell there for a couple cents. Okay. All right. Just take a little tester and get out the way if it don't work. And now what I'm thinking is 75. 75 is the level that I'm thinking. Too strong 5 minutes have closed. They've made great moves. So what I'm thinking here is this thing's staying aggressive. It's getting aggressive. Where can I get in? Let's see where my first entry is. I'll take a flush. Probably could have. But okay, so here's my first entry. I don't even know why I got in there. What was the catalyst? It's like dipping kind of below that. I get flushed out. I cut it for 2.5 cents, which was 150. And I get back in at the high of that little micro range. I don't know why. And I'm like holding for a second. Not getting anything. I take a half off. I'm expecting it to go straight back up, but there's increasing volume and I'm kind of fighting the tide. And so I cut it, break even. All right, so I'm down 150. What did I end down? I ended down 220, so I make a couple mistakes here. It looks like it's going to break this trend line, which is not going to be helpful to the move. I chase the highs right there. Or no, what do I do? I cut it there. When was I in? All right, so get a decent fill there. Let it move up. I get an okay fill, to be fair. Down 135. Just yeah, the dips on the upside are just rough. I'm a little irritable at this point. So I haven't been meditating. But I have been taking naps in the middle of the day, which is whatever. That's why I sound all sleepy right now. So distracted on one hand. Five-minute looks. Okay. I hesitate here, waiting for it to test lower. It doesn't test lower. And it looks like it's holding. Not really paying attention. I get in a little bit late. I get filled at the highs, and then I cut it immediately. I get back in. I get a little winner. Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't have bought back there. But I got a little bit. Why did I buy there? That's mid range. Huh. Hmm. All right. So I missed that. Now I'm a little bit tilted, and I chase here. Yeah, that was a mistake. This is mid range. I never really would have traded this. This is, you're testing the highs. Okay, so now it's breaking out. I get filled at the absolute high, cut it, and then it goes higher. I think I get back in. Actually, no, I don't get back in. So it does it like a peak high. And this is where I really botch things. So it peaks high by like a penny. Reverses here. Reverses lower. So normally my policy in situations like this is to wait till it closes when it's like a funny contested candle like this where it totally reverses, it dips lower than I expect. There are circumstances, however, where it bounces and it comes back up, but those are a little bit rarer, and it's a little bit more of like a hot bouncy market where there's a lot of buyers, and it started to feel like there were buyers, but we'll see. It just dies right here. So I buy. I get filled at. I also buy mid range. I don't buy the flush. You know, taking too long to cut. Holding. Cut there. Then it flushes, and I buy back in the exact same spot. Right move would have been wait till it closes right here. That doesn't look great, so I'd give it a little space. And I would have been, down 100. I would have been 120 bucks wealthier today if just that one move, and then add that to not taking the breakout. All right, so this was not a terrible trade, not the greatest, but not a terrible trade. It's just a loss, and then it goes up, and then if I chase it here, that would make it not a great trade. I never really lost my composure. I just made mistakes and chased because I thought that it was rewarding that. So it closes, and I'm just like, what am I doing? This is not good. Now I'm down 350 on this, which is not a great amount to be down. 360, 370. I'm like, this is going to spiral out of control. Getting a little bit too aggressive. It's the wrong place to buy. Wrong situation to buy. Okay, so now it's kind of flushing here. I'm not doing this intelligently. Now I'm just off checking profit or loss, I mean. 5 minute, terrible. And, it is what it is. I do end up making back like 150, 200 on that. Whatever. Very, very kind of straight down sells. Good for the shorts. It's a short, heavy market. I think what's more interesting now is this right here. Why this worked. Okay, it's your first test of the 20-day. 5 minute pattern is kind of forming, or the first test of the 20. You may actually get in. It's getting bought nicely. Okay, this is closing. And it interestingly closes above this kind of support level. Test below right here again. I guess you could have bought that. Chased it a little bit at the lows. It hasn't been too crazy. And it is kind of like a preview, though, of what's to come. You know, you have this little breakout, like rejection, and then run back up. Yeah, interesting. All right. Well, that was the main lesson that I wanted to go over. Um, those two areas just to go over it. This breakout was a mistake because I don't really trade these. This dip buy right here was a mistake. I thought it would get aggressive. It was fueled by, delusions after being red. And then it's debatable here. Where did I lose? I thought it was going to do a micro pullback. And it's kind of just creeping. And I think I chased it mid-range if I remember when I could fill that. Yeah, I chased it mid-range right here. Yep, hits 25. I buy. It's below my price. And then that was the flush. Interesting. I mean, being chart focused, so the corrections were chart focused, no mid range, no breakouts. I would have been fine, but I would not have caught the front side. And so this is where it gets a little bit difficult. Is I thought this might have still been the front side, but the volume is obviously telling a different story. So. All right. Lessons learned. I will see you guys tomorrow. Maybe, actually, no, probably not tomorrow because I got to dip out early and go drive down to San Diego. But yeah. Anyways, good talking to you. Have a great day.